All right, can you hear me now? Comment in the comment section. Let me know if you can hear me. Um, and let's try working out the audio problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So as I was saying, the Carifta games is scheduled to kick off on March 30, which is this Saturday, and it will run until Monday. And it's being held at the Kirani James Stadium in Grenada. Now, Kirani James still very young, and he has a stadium named after him, which is an incredible feat. His career is one that we need to draw inspiration from because he broke onto the scene as a teenager. He had a period where he was ill, took a break from the sport, and then he returned to the event he loves. So the Kirani James Stadium, just the historical context of Kirani and his story is something to take inspiration from, I think, and not just for those in Grenada, but those right across the Caribbean. I think he's one of those, a beacon of inspiration for everyone looking on. So big shout out to Kirani James. Before we even go into the schedule, big shout out to Kirani James, incredible incredible athlete, an incredible young man as well. To the viewers new to Halftime TV, please remember subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the show, like the videos as soon as you hop on. The more likes the videos have, the wider the reach. Come this weekend, Halftime TV will be providing you with live watch along coverage. We'll be doing live streams on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday evening. We'll be doing probably semifinals and finals only. I know some of you want to see the heats, so if the opportunity presents itself, we will cover some of the heats as well. But for the most part, we're committing to doing the semifinals and the finals for most of the events. Okay, we'll also try to find links so the viewers can have access to it as a last resort, so you can get to watch it. Okay, so if we can't find any links, just stay tuned as we'll provide commentary on the races. All right, so Nathan Jones, Judith Williams, Charmaine Johnson, welcome. Good evening to you all. Okay, shout out sponsors, Quick Link Shipping. Anything you need shipped into the island, always check out Quick Link Shipping. There's a poll that's currently running. You can check it out as well. I'm curious to hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. We know it's one of those things where after champs, like it's almost as if we take a break until the next big thing for the Jamaican seniors. But I'm curious to hear: are you interested in the Carifta games? You can answer that poll that's currently on the screen. All right. So, are you interested? Does the Carifta games strike interest in you as a track and field or in the regular fans? All right. It's one of those things where all the Caribbean teams are. I won't even say all the Caribbean teams. So all the members of the Caribbean Free Trade, they come together and they compete. All right, so that's what Carifta is for, the Caribbean Free Trade Association. So all these members, they send out their athletes and the athletes compete. We had some history posted in the chat before we started. So Romaldo, not even Romaldo Smite, that's too recent, but the oldest boys record, 15.03. I'll pin it on the screen. Lyndon Sands of Bahamas in the under 17 triple jump in 1980, still standing. We also have a couple. Mushed, sorry. Mushed. I don't know why I keep mixing up Mushed. But yeah, Mushed High School, Spot Valley has had a lot happening recently. But yeah, Mushed High School pair of Smythe and Shania, they will be in attendance, and last night on television, Jamaica, the evening news, the father spoke because um, Smythe's father is also his coach, and he said they're looking to build a program at Moshed, so they're gonna stay put. So said Romaldo Smythe is gonna stay put, as well as Shania Douglas. They want to build on these athletes, and remember they're just in class two, so still still time left for them to do some damage, especially when they get to the next class. Okay, so um, yeah, let's get to it. I think we can get to it, but again, uh, I want to throw it out there. Does everyone remember Adeja Hodge and what she did a couple of years ago? Competing in three events. I think it was a 100 meter, the 200 meter, and the jump. Is it long jump? I think it's a long jump. Yeah. So I think she is a prime example of what we can expect from other countries. I know we oftentimes pay attention to only the Jamaican athletes because, again, we have champs. So we assume that all the top athletes from the other Caribbean islands, they'll take transfers or they'll put in requests to come to Jamaican schools so they can compete at champs because, after all, champs is the biggest high school event or high school track event anywhere in the world. So we assume that, hey, champs has everybody there, right? So if you're not at champs, you're probably not important. And Adeja Hodge proved that that's not the case, as she came and she kicked up a storm at the National Stadium a couple of years ago. So I want you guys to use Adeja Hodge as reference. She was at the World Championship last year as well. All right, so the World Championship in Budapest, she was there last year at 17 years of age. She got to the semifinal stage. So exceptional athlete, top quality athlete, and I think the trajectory that she's currently going on, it will only get better. It will only get better from there. So Deja Hodge, we heard the name a couple of years ago at the Carifta Games. So we're keeping an ear and an eye open to see who's next, who's the next Deja Hodge coming from the Carifta Games. Shaquille Smith, loving these athletes remain because many move to a different school and cause other athletes or even them fail by the wayside because only two athletes can compete per event. Shaquille, and important that you mentioned that because that was one of the key pointers made by Coach Smythe. He said a lot of the athletes who move to the bigger schools, they don't matriculate, and that's exactly where the concern lies. Because having seen the likes of Smythe and Shania Douglas, one would expect that, hey, they can easily walk into an Edwin Allen or a KC team, but you take the transfer, you sit out a year. I don't know what the sit out period is for champs, but oftentimes I think it's a year. I think you have to sit out a year if you transfer in from a different school, unless you're going to sixth form where you can just compete straight off the bat. But you transfer in, you sit out a year. By the time you think it's your time, the variables and the dynamics change. So it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be that next person in line. So I think it's an important point, and we should pay keen attention to it because oftentimes it goes under the radar. We see top athletes at the class one or the class two level, and then you hear a little bit about them afterwards, but only because they're falling by the wayside. Okay, so we will take a short break. We'll take a short break, get some ads in, and then we will continue. What I'll do is I want to put the schedule on the screen so we know what is to come. We'll also go through the list of Jamaican athletes that are going to the Carifta Games. Okay, so we'll get both of those done in a second. So give me a second. If it's not me, then I'm nothing. All right. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna pull up the schedule for the weekend, and then we're gonna go through it little by little. All right. So let me know if you're seeing the screen, folks. Let me know if you can see. So on Saturday morning, we have the heptathlon, we have the high jump under 17. So Saturday morning, everything kicks off. The night logged on from Neptune. Big up yourself from Neptune. We're going through the schedule for the championship scheduled to kick off on the weekend. All right, so this is currently being pulled from the World Athletics website. Saturday, March 30, 2024, and the morning session begins at 9, so 9 a.m. The 100-meter hurdles, and this is a part of the heptathlon. Then we have the high jump. The high jump will start that time. We will have that high jump going on for a minute, as we usually know. So it's not a case where the high jump starts and it ends by 9:03 or 9:08. It will be happening in the background. So a number of field events happen in the javelin. We have the shot put. We have octathlon for boys. And the first event is a 100 meters. So you might see a quick 100 meter that is not part of the actual 100 meter package. Okay, where can we watch it live? There's a link. There's a link right here. So this is the live stream information and meet info. Obviously, it's not ready as yet because the games haven't started as yet. So for live stream and TV coverage, you can watch it ZNS Bahamas if you're in Trinidad, CNC3 if you're in Jamaica. CBM TV has exclusive rights for that. Sportsmax TV and Sportsmax app, you can use both of those. I know Jamaica has access to Sportsmax as well, so you can use Sportsmax. Winners TV in St. Lucia, CBC in Barbados, live stream and TV coverage, as you can see there, Grenada Broadcasting Association. So all that information there is presented. If you're in North America and you want to watch it, I presume you can see it through CBC as well. Okay, so tune into CBC. What I'll do is I'll try and find options as to where you, the viewers and subscribers, can watch it. And then I'll ensure that when we get to Saturday, I either post it to the members. So if you're not a Halftime TV member, you can become a member now. I post it to the members or on the community page, so you have access to those links. All right. So due to copyright infringement and all of that, I can't be promoting links on the channel, so I won't post it on the community page. So if you're a member, I'll post it, and then you can have access to it, and then we can remove it after maybe an hour or so. Okay, so 9:25 Saturday morning is when the heats for the 100 meters begin. All right, so 9:25 Saturday morning, heats for the girls under 17, 100 meters, and the heats will run until 10:25. So just about 1 hour worth of heats from the under 17 level straight through to the under 20 for both boys and girls. We have the 400 meters, girls and boys semifinals as well happening. And again, this is the first bit. So you'll only have a semifinals and finals for the 400 meters. So the 400 meters, if you're interested, it starts at 10:50 a.m. Saturday morning. and it goes until 11:35. And this is for the semifinal. Take a break. We'll have the opening ceremony at 2:30. Medal ceremony for those who want something in the morning. All right. So, for example, the shot put and the high jump, they will receive their medals when we get to 3:45, and then we will have the 100-meter under 17 semifinals. The 100-meter under 20 semifinals will take us through to 4:45. So I think it's a jam-packed Saturday. I will be using Sportsmax. Nice, nice. So Saturday is when we'll see the heats for the 100 meters, the semifinal, and the final. So Saturday, you wake up early Saturday morning. We'll watch the 100-meter heats from 9 to 10:30, 9:30 to 10:30. We'll come back at 4:30, well, 4 o'clock, and we'll go until 4:45 for the semifinals. And then in the evening from 7:05 until 7:25 or 7:20, we'll have the finals. So it's a jam-packed day for the youngsters. 3 races in a day. 3 races in a day. What are your thoughts on those, viewers and subscribers? The heats, the semifinal, and the final all happening within a single day. Let's hear what your thoughts are on that. I know the championship is only being held for 3 days, so they have to really make everything work. They have to fit everything in there. But 3 races in a day. You start at 9, you get back 3 or 4, and then you come back again at 7. How are we feeling about that schedule for day 1? Packed. Everything there. All right. We're moving on to day 2, and this is Sunday, folks. Sunday, March 31. I know the football fans, they'll be looking to their respective teams. Arsenal and Manchester City, I believe they're playing this weekend. Maybe, I think it's on Sunday, not sure. I think they're playing on Sunday as well, though. But the football fans, I know they'll be switching channels back and forth to see what's happening at the Carifta games while they're watching their favorite teams. So that's the schedule. That's a tough one. It is extremely tricky. Extremely tricky. So the schedule for Sunday, and this is day 2, is as follows. So we have the octathlon. Remember, we had the octathlon starting from Saturday. So the 5th event, the 110-meter hurdles for boys, it kicks off Sunday morning. So while you're getting ready to go to church, you can keep tabs on that one. By the time you get back, it should be done and dusted, or we should actually be over to the 800 meters. But we have the 200 meters under 17 heats starting at 9:15 on Sunday morning. So we're helping you to plan out your Sunday. So we have 9:15, the 200-meter girls under 17 heats. That will start, and the 200 meters will run until 10:15. So 200 meters run for an hour on Sunday morning from 9:15 to 10:15. 10:40, we have the beginning of the 800 meters semifinals. And again, like the 400 meters, we only have semifinal and finals for the 800 meters. Okay? So 800 meters semifinals, 10:40 on Sunday, and it goes until 11:16. And it'll be followed by the 400-meter hurdles, which will basically close off the morning session. So the semifinals to the 400-meter hurdles will take us through to 12. Sunday, March 31, day 2, the afternoon session. So those who want to tune in for the big action, which is usually the 200 meters and the 4x100 meters, you probably should tune in for the afternoon session for Sunday. So we have the 200 meters under 17 starting 4:35, and then up until 9:20. Up until 9:20, we have relay finals. So we have 4x100 meter relays starting from 6:40 and going all the way through to 7:10. Then we have the 4x4 mixed relay, which is an open event. Okay, so I think Sunday evening from 6:40 all the way to 7:25, 7:30 roughly, it will be jam packed as it relates to action, adrenaline, and all of that. I think the relays something that keep everyone entertained. Everyone focuses on the relays, and unlike Saturday where we have the 100 meters, like three 100-meter events happening in the same day, that's not the case for Sunday because we have the heats for the 200 meters and the semifinal happening Sunday. And then we go over to Monday where we have the finals for the 200 meters. So on Monday, the 200 meters final is expected to kick off in the evening. So 200 meters final kicking off Monday evening at 5:45. So if you want to see the 200 meters, Monday evening. And again, a little bit different from what we are usually used to as it relates to the format of champs, etc. Because they've basically they've done the relays on the second day here, and then they've left some of the relays for the third day as well. So we have relays 2 days. We have the 200 meters on the last day, which is similar to champs. But it's good to see that we have interesting events on all 3 days. Events that pique your interest, events that keep you entertained. Because sometimes I think we will have surplus on one day, and then on the other day it kind of fades out a bit. But what we're going to do this evening, we're going to invite a couple of the fans to come on the show and share their thoughts. So we'll pin the link there. If you don't want to come on camera, that's fine. We'll just hear what your thoughts are on the schedule. We'll get to the calls in a second. We'll also have, I think I'll add a call-in segment for the Carifta games, but we'll see. We'll add a WhatsApp number to the screen and you can call in and share your thoughts. So for the last day, we have the 4x4 from under 17 all the way through to the under 20. And those will be the curtain closers as was the case at champs. We have the under 20 and the under 17 200 meters finals basically coming before those. We have the 800 meters happening at 5. Yeah, starting at 5 and going through to 5:30. So 800 meters, 200 meters, and 4x400 meters are the big events for Monday evening. All right. We also have the 110-meter hurdles and the 100-meter hurdles. If you're tuning in a little bit earlier, I won't tune in until maybe after 5 because obviously I have to work. Obviously I have to work, so I have to tune in after work. But I won't tune in until after 5. Then we have before that for the morning session for those who will be tuned into the Carifta games all day. We have the semifinals for the 4x4 relays, the semifinals for the hurdles as well happening Monday morning. So if you tune in early Monday morning, you can expect to see the hurdles as well as the 4x4 relays semifinal. Okay. Again, on Sunday, we have the 4x1 final and we have a 4x4 mixed relay final as well. 200-meter final. So Sunday, the main events at Halftime TV will be covering the 4x1 and the 200 meters final in the evening session. In the morning session, we'll probably do the 800 meters semi-final and the 200 meters semi the 200 meters heat. Sorry. So 200 meters semi-final, 200 meters heat. We're doing all of that on Sunday. On Saturday, we'll be doing the 100 meters and the 400 meters final. Okay, so Saturday night, we're doing the 100 meters final. We'll also be doing the 400 meters final. So Saturday, we'll be live streaming in the evening for the 400 meters and the 100 meters final. Okay? All right. So let's go over to the comment section now. We've run through the schedule for the Carifta games. March 30, when it starts 9 a.m. and it will go until April 1st, 8 o'clock basically. Right, so March 30 to April 1st, Jamaica has been doing exceptionally well at the Carifta Games, currently holding 10 of records in 10 of the 21 events in the under 20 boys event, and we hold 11 of the 17 under 20 girl records. So it's basically Jamaica's stomping ground, and that's me putting it nicely. I expect the Jamaican athletes to come out and do their best as they usually do, and I expect them to make us proud. Right? A lot of those we saw last week at Champs, they will be in attendance and they will be representing. I think the timing of the Carifta Games and the penny relays to an extent, I think it's usually something that excites me because we just saw them off the high of Champs and on top of the world basically, and the Carifta Games happening immediately afterwards. I think it's usually fun to see because they've already conquered the local schools or the local competition, and now their tails are up, want to go out and conquer. Who's next in the Caribbean's best to offer? So who's the best you have to offer? Show them up. We are ready for them, and that's usually the mindset of a lot of these athletes coming out of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs. Don't want to finish champs and just sit down and wait and sit down and look around. They want to finish champs and they want more competition. They want to see who's next, right? Because when it's going good for these athletes, it's almost as if they want to push themselves to see how well they can do or what else they have in the tank to offer. So again, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, remember, smash the like button. The more likes the videos have, the wider the reach. We need to get this video to at least 100 likes. So keep those likes coming in and keep the polls coming in as well. Keep the votes coming in. We have 46 votes so far. 98% of the viewers saying they're interested in the Carifta Games. And then we have 2% saying no, they aren't. Let's hear from those who aren't interested. Why aren't you interested? What is it about the Carifta Games that's failing to pique your interest? We're curious to hear, so drop it in the comment section. We are fascinated by Champs because of tribalism. We all have our respective schools, whether it's KC, JC, St. George's, Stets, Calabar, whichever school you attend. On the girls' side, there's Homewood, there's Vere, there is Edwin Allen. All these schools who usually compete for Champs, we form this emotional connection to these schools that when it comes to Champs, it's almost as if no other school matters. But afterwards, when these athletes from the respective schools, they come together and they're represented in Jamaica, especially at the junior level, I find that the interest at the junior level is not as high, and one would think that, especially since they're fresh out of Champs where their respective schools are competing, those fans of the school would automatically transition over to the Carifta Games, but that hasn't always been the case. I think even with the pen relays, you find a lot more interest in the pen relays than in the Carifta Games. I don't know why, but again, just throwing it out there, some an observation that I've made, at least from the fans that I've come in contact with, especially on the channel here, as it relates to their interest around the Carifta games. I know 98% of the viewers on here now say they're interested in the Carifta games, but it doesn't really get as much traction as, say, the pen relays, or even champs, which I understand why it doesn't get the same traction as champs, but one would expect like the pen release. Come on, but again, let's hear what your thoughts are on those. Okay, so running through the schedule once more. On Saturday, the big event. If you're only interested on the final, if you're only interested in the finals on Saturday, the finals that will be taking place on the 17 and under 20, 100 meters, 400 meters final as well. We have the long jump final happening on Saturday, as well as the 1500 meters. All right, so 1500 meters, pole vault, triple jump, long jump, 100 meters. So those are the finals happening on Saturday, and we're only going to tell you the finals, so you can jot them down and you can mark it on your calendar, uh, so you don't have to go through all the heats and all of that. If you want to see the heat, fine. You can basically rewatch this episode, because we went through that at the top of the show. So now we'll just go through the finals on Sunday. Again, just the finals that are happening. We have the shot put on the 20 for girls. We have the give me a second. We have the long jump. We have the 400-meter hurdles. And this is Sunday, folks. We have the 3,000-meter. And then we have the 4x100 and the 4x4 mixed relays. Okay? So the big one for Sunday is the 4x100 meters. I think everyone will be tuned in for the 4x100 meters final. We also have the 400-meter hurdles, so you can tune into the 4x1, the 4x4 hurdles. Sorry, 400-meter hurdles. I have to say 4x4. Imagine if they had a 4x4. I didn't get where will this year Carifta Games be held. So the Carifta Games this year will be held at the Kirani James Stadium in Grenada. Okay, so Kirani James Stadium in Grenada. All right, so Sunday we have 400-meter hurdles, and we have the 4x100-meter finals. So that's 4x1 relay finals as well as the 400-meter hurdles finals. If you're interested in the semifinals as well, we have the 200-meter semifinals happening on Sunday, and this is Sunday afternoon. Okay, yes, Sunday afternoon, 200-meter semifinal, 400-meter hurdles, and the 4x1 final. So 400-meter hurdles final, 4x1 final, and the 200-meter semifinal. Okay. On Monday, we have 100-meter hurdles semifinal in the morning, and this is the morning session. We have the 4x4 semifinal in the morning session, and in the evening, obviously, we're gonna have the finals for those, since it's the final day. Okay. We have 200-meter finals, 800-meter finals, 110 and 100-meter hurdles finals, all happening on Monday. We also have 4x4, 200 meters, 800 meters, shot put, so much. Okay, we have the triple jump final as well happening Monday. Okay, so all 3 days each have big events happening, each have big finals. We know it's only 3 days, and especially with the 100 meters. All right, pen release excites the many Jamaicans living in the United States. The Carifta competition not as intense, so less interest. All right, Nolan, that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. All right, Nolan, question though, especially now where there's, I think I think Jamaica is seen as one of those Caribbean islands that um, other Caribbean islands view as either too arrogant or um, basically saying Jamaica is up on a pedestal and we're down here. We need to ensure that we show up and we compete and we basically let Jamaicans know that we can compete and we can be better at them in certain fields. Wouldn't that be cause for more competition from the other countries, or more rivalries between the Caribbean countries competing at the Carifta Games? Just throwing it out there because, and again, Adija Hodge and what she did at the Carifta Games a couple of years ago, and I know she what British Virgin Islands I think she was competing for, but she's not one of those athletes from say a Trinidad or Barbados or one of those countries that is always competing with Jamaica in whatever it is. All right, especially on Twitter. But I think what Adesia did should have and could have set the stage for more excitement around the Carifta Games. I think it showed that champs and Jamaica doesn't necessarily possess all the top athletes in the Caribbean, and that other Caribbean islands can actually put forward athletes who can compete in respective events. Not the case we're competing in all events because obviously Jamaica has champs, which is a product like no other across the Caribbean. Um, so many different schools, so many different events, so many different top talents uh, competing at champs. And I think Jamaica has basically improved the product when they've gone to the extent you have one-offs like Hodge, but across the board there will usually be less competition. Okay, Nolan. Okay, Nolan. Fair, fair, fair. I point taken, point noted, and point taken. So I again, I guess when we go to the United States, then at the pen relays, we have more competition from other high schools. Again, the sample size is way bigger too, because the US has over 300 million people, and a lot of those are high school students. Right? A lot of those are high school students who compete and who are excelling in track and field programs that are well funded. And when we look at Jamaica, a lot of the schools who compete, and I won't say compete for champs, but compete as maybe you put a one athlete like the likes of Petersfield that we saw last year, the likes of Mushet that we're seeing this year. We usually have schools that put maybe two or three athletes for Green Island High a couple of years ago with Odale Todd, who went on to win a gold medal. But we usually have. Do you think Grenada get in second? I don't know. I don't know. But we usually have schools that produce maybe one or two athletes and they bank on these athletes to go all the way and to do their best and to actually get them some recognition and to get them. They're not competing for champs, don't get me wrong, but they're going out there and turning heads as we saw with the Mushed pair, as we saw with Petersfield, with as we saw with Petersfield last was it last, yeah, last year. So we oftentimes have these schools and the difference, and I think to Nolan's point where the Caribbean comes into play, it's more of these schools across the Caribbean where they put together two or three athletes who can compete, but that's as far as it goes. And those two or three athletes, in the grand scheme of things, Jamaica, they have the second largest contingent. Yeah. So for Jamaica, we would be like, for example, an Edwin Allen and uh, say an Edwin Allen or a KC then, right? Just the grand scheme of things. Edwin Allen or a KC, and for the rest of the Caribbean, they'd be maybe like a Stets, where they can come up with athletes, and this is the rest of the Caribbean. And so, as a collective, all of them put together would be like a Stets, where they have athletes who can compete in respective areas, and then you'll have the one-off where that athlete is excelling. All right, so like a Stets or a Herbert Morrison, put it that way. All right. So yeah, that's my take on that. The pen relays, on the other hand, I think Jamaica has more competition, better competition as well, and it's a better gauge of where they're at because when they compete against other uh, Caribbean countries and when they compete at the Carifta Games, it's it's almost and we saw what's his name? DeAndre Daly did at the under 20 championship where he basically beat the youngster on the line and was looking across on him and all of that. So I think doing that at the pen relays uh, would even be would be an even bigger feat, and it would even turn more heads because of the capacity of the competition that they'll be up against. But pen relays versus Carifta. Let's go over to the polls and see where the polls are at. Uptown Kingston. Caribbean would be like, it's, uh, that's funny. Caribbean would be like Papina or Tarrant, maybe Trinidad or Bahamas. Excess, yeah, immaculate. All right. All right, so the polls still ongoing. 56 voters so far interested in the Carifta Games is the question that we're asking this evening. Uh, 98% still saying yes. We have 2% saying no. So 98% saying yes, they are interested in the Carifta Games. We have 2% saying no. We leave this live stream this evening to maybe an hour. I think we'll stream for an hour because we will be back over the weekend and we will be streaming for we'll be doing multiple streams, maybe 1 hour, 2 hour a piece, and covering a lot of events. So I won't go past an hour this evening. So I'll just turn over to the comment section and have you, the viewers and subscribers, just share some more comments, what you're thinking. Why is the pen relays? And know that we've gotten the polls in from the interest, and a lot of people are interested. So we got 57 votes. Got 57 votes for the poll. 98% saying yes, or 99, and 1% saying no. So we'll do another poll. Which do you prefer? But I think the athletes are pumped, they're ready, and they are anxious to deliver big performances come the weekend. I think had we had the Carifta Games been held on maybe Monday, they'd be ready for it because the adrenaline is pushing through their veins. The likes of especially the sprinters. All right, so we have a new poll that was just posted. That one will be on till the end of the show. So the new poll that we just posted, which do you prefer, the Carifta Games or the pen relays? We have the pen relays in Pennsylvania, and we have the Carifta Games that's being held this year in Grenada. So Carifta or pen relays, let's hear your thoughts. Which do you prefer? And if you want to even go a bit further, you can let us know why in the comment section. Why do you prefer the pen relays over the Carifta Games, or why do you prefer the Carifta Games over the pen relays? Record keeping again, bit of a record keeping. Jamaica's dominated the medal table at the Carifta Games, and we are looking to dominate again this year. Jamaica holds 10 of the 21 under 20 boys events, and this is a record events contested all time, and hold or share 11 of the 17 under 20 girls records. So 11 of the 17, Jamaica either hold it or we share it with somebody else. Jamaican boys own 9 of the 17 under 17 records, whilst their under 17 girls possess a remarkable 10 of 16. So Hope they ain't using Grenadian commentators like the last time. If they're using Grenadian commentators, you don't have to worry. You can just tune into Halftime TV. We'll provide commentary for you, so you don't have to feel like you're missing out. Okay. All right. So the oldest record in the books, and this is at the Carifta Games, um, belongs to Bermuda's Sonia Smith, whose under 20 javelin throw performance of 53.98 meters has been on the books since 1979. So 1979 to now, that's what, 45 years? Yeah, so that's the oldest record on the book. 45 years by Sonia Smith from Bermuda. And this is the under 20 javelin throw record. The oldest boys record is 15.03. The winning distance for Bahamas is Lyndon Sands in the triple jump, and this one was set in 1980. So we have one that's 45, and we have one that's 44. Okay, so one record 44, one record 45. All right, Nolan Miller saying, that's a good poll question. I prefer pens as spectator, but for athletes, I'm usually nervous. Pen track has a weird setup that seems to cause injuries, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the pen release, and again, it's the sponsors, it's the United States. They're organizing it, and the track entities, the attention that's placed on the pen release, I think it helps and it amplifies the interest. And we oftentimes watch on and we say, how important are fans or how important are sponsors to the brand or the package of track and field? And I think the pen relay is a prime example. Yeah, that's like comparing T20 to ODI. Fair, but again, the comparison is there. The comparison is there because you have some people who they love their ODI. They love their ODI. They love their ODI. While T20 will bring a little bit more excitement. And I think the disparaging difference as well. And the poll question is not confined to just the pen relays and the interest in general. I think it's the interest from the diaspora. It's the interest from the diaspora because the Caribbean diaspora, they pay a lot of attention to the pen relays, but you would expect them to be paying equally as much attention to the Carifta game because after all, you have your home country or your neighboring countries competing. Because a lot of these countries they aren't at the pen release. Okay, you'll have one or two who are invited, but for the most part they aren't. Okay, but yeah, continuing, where was I? Right, so the records that we were going through just now, we have Lyndon Sands for the triple jump, record 44 years old. We have Sonia Smith, under 20 javelin, record 45 years old. We have Kareem Street, who went on to become one of the world's leading long jumpers, but his Carifta performance have earned him legendary status. In 1989, he set an under 17 long jump record with a leap of 7.83. And a year later, he went 7.94 in the under 19. Again, record in the first year for the Cayman Islands. Both of these records remain untouched. So 7.83 set in 1989 and 7.94 set in 1990 by Kareem Street Thompson of the Cayman Islands. None of these long jump records have been touched since. All right, so Carifta is more a platform where stars are built, while pen relays is more showboaty. Right, let's pin that one. Let's pin that one. It's the pen relays exhibition. You come out, come show your best toys. All right, so continuing on the records, and this is the Carifta Games records. The Bahamas owns the girls' long jump records. Jackie Edwards' 1987 mark of 6.14 became under 17 winning distance, and Daphne Saunders' 6.93 won her 1989 under 20 title. So Bahamas dominating the long jump records since the 1980s. Okay. All right. So there you have it. Those are the little bit of fun facts for the upcoming Carifta Games. We will do a quick run through of the schedule again for the last 5 minutes of the show. Let me take a quick look over the polls. 88% saying they prefer the Carifta Games. 12% saying they prefer the pen relays. But keep those votes coming in. Keep those votes coming in. Let's hear. Don't forget to mention our swimmers. Yeah, folks, remember, shout out to the swimmers. They've been all over the news lately. Unfortunately, they won't be able to get to Grenada. They won't be able to get to Grenada like 3-4 days in advance. And I think today is what? Today's Thursday. I think they left today. I think they left Jamaica today, so they should get there. They only have 2 days in the pool, so they should get to Grenada today. So big shout out to the swimmers, all the best, and we will be supporting you. No, I think the swimmers are going to Bahamas, eh? Where are the swimmers going? Yeah, the swimmers are going to Bahamas. I think the swimmers are going to Bahamas. All right, so someone let me know in the comment section. Someone let me know in the comment section. I think there's a swim. I think there's a swim meet coming up. Let's see. Yeah, Bahamas. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I think the swimmers are going to the Bahamas. I know they've been dominating the news all week. I think there are concerns about funding. They needed to get there. They were saying 4 days in advance, but that wasn't to be. And they had to, because of the cost associated. I think they said up to 300,000 per athlete. So Mayberry stepped in as well as a couple other stakeholders to assist them. But big shout out to the swimmers, all the best to the youngsters. I know they will represent Jamaica well over there in the Bahamas. So swimming, not a part of the Carifta Games, okay? Swimming, not a part of the Carifta Games. The Jamaican athletes, they have the swimming championship happening in the Bahamas, and they arrive in 2 days before the event. I think it starts on the weekend. They should arrive today. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the schedule again, and then we'll call it an evening. So on Saturday is when it all starts. All starts on Saturday. Let me share my screen. That way you can follow the conversation. All right, so everything starts on Saturday. So Saturday morning, we have the 100-meter hurdles to kick everything off, and this is a part of the heptathlon for girls. All right, if you're interested in the sprint event at 9:25, that's when we have the 100-meter heat starting, and those will run until 10:25. We then have the 400 meters semifinals for girls, kicking off the 400 meter batch of semifinals. That will run until 11:35. Mind you, folks, we don't have any heats for the 400 meters. It's just semifinals and finals. That is also the case for the 800 meters. All right, so Saturday afternoon, we have the 100 meters semifinals. We also have the 1500 meters finals. 1500 meter finals, single event. We don't have heats for the 1500 meters. We don't have semifinals. We go straight to the finals, okay? In the evening, we have the 400 meters final, we also have the 100 meters final. So for those asking, or if you joined us late, for the 100 meters, we will have the heats, we'll have the semifinals, and we'll have the finals all happening on Saturday. So all happening on one day, heat, semifinal, and final for the 100 meters. On Sunday, kick it off by the 110-meter hurdles octathlon for boys. All right, 200-meter heat kicks off at 9:15. 800 meters semifinal for 10:40. Sorry, as we said a little bit earlier, we won't have any heats for the 800 meters, so it's just semifinal and final. At 11:30, we have semifinals for 400-meter hurdles. The same thing for 400-meter hurdles. We won't have any heats. It's just semifinals and finals. Okay. Sunday afternoon, when we get back, we will have the 4x100-meter relay semifinals. So semifinal for relays, semifinal, and final as well. When we get back in the evening, we'll have 400-meter hurdles final. So 400-meter hurdles final kicking off just about 10 minutes to 4 Sunday evening. So as soon as you finish your Sunday dinner, you can sit around the television and you can watch the 400-meter hurdles finals. We then have the 200 meters semifinals kicking off about 4:35 thereabout. Okay. Fast forward to later on Sunday evening, we have the 4x100 meters finals, and that one starts at 6:40 p.m. So 6:40 Sunday evening, the 4x100 meters finals. On Monday, so for those who work from home, or if you're deciding to stay home Monday to tune into the Carifta games, the schedule as follows. We have the 110-meter hurdles, we have the 100-meter hurdles. We have the 4x4 relays semifinal happening in the morning session. Resume 3:30 for the afternoon session. Then the first actual final that's after the resumption is the 100-meter hurdles for under 17. So we'll do the hurdles finals up until just about 4:35. Then we'll jump over to the 800 meters finals. That one will run from 4:55 until 5:30 thereabout. So 5:30-ish. Afterwards, we'll have the 200-meter finals starting 5:45 and running through to 6:15. So give or take 6:15 to 6:20 thereabout. Closing off Monday, we'll have the 4x400-meter relays, which will take us basically to 7:40. All right, so 7:40, 7:45, the 4x400-meter relays. We'll leave it at that for now. Remember, folks, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Carifta schedule. It was just posted. We shared it with you guys just for line aside, but we want to hear what your thoughts are on the schedule. Is it a lenient schedule? Is it an interesting schedule? Are you looking forward to the package or the polls? All right, so keep on voting, keep the polls coming in, keep those votes coming in. The package for each day, let us know what your thoughts are on those, and you can leave the comment section below. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you guys on Saturday for our resumed track and field content. But in the interim, you can look out for the football content. Expect a video tomorrow morning. Don't know what the topic will be as yet, but turn the notification on. That way, when the video is premiering, you don't miss out. All right, Halftime TV is saying have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourself. Walk good. Love you.